guys, Casual Blading Bevvie, episode 13. We're here with Greg Tawell, aka Bladelifes. So Greg, obviously we're going to ask you the same simple questions to begin with, what everyone likes to hear about anyway. Do you want to give us a little bit of background on yourself, how you started skating, where you grew up?
Yeah, well, I'm from Halifax, as everybody knows, man. I started skating, man, way back in the days. I used to have like some real bad skates that I nicked off my cousins. They were like typical story shit. They were white with like purple wheels and purple liners, and I was like up and down the road, man, like near my old house, just up and down as a kid. But then like aggressive skating, I remember getting a book when I was a kid, man. Was it by Brian? Somewhat Bell, by Dave Bell. It was by Dave Bell. Yeah, and it was like, it was all about different types of skating, and it had some dudes with like the baggy jeans and the skate chains and the hats like this, man. Like, doing front sides down some rails in some like, some nasty ass skates. And since then, man, my imagination was completely on it. But like then actually skating like Agraverts. Do you remember Agraverts? Maybe back in the day, over in Dewsbury. And yeah, we used to go skate there, man. My Agraverts car said 1999 on it, so I always say that's when I started properly skating. And yeah, man, we used to go over there with a couple of my mates from school, like catch a 2-hour bus ride over there, and it was in the ghetto, man, like straight up ghetto, as all good skate parks are. Yeah, man, used to skate there 2-3 times a week. It was sick, man, sick. Perfect flat banks. Like UK skate ones, like the old UK skate ones, man, they were perfect. So yeah, man, used to skate there a lot, skated a lot park, and then got into street with all the old Huddersfield crew. People know that. Old David Ainley and Tato, man, and Wadey and all those kind of people, they were still skating big in Huddersfield. And yeah, I'd kind of learned street skate a little bit with those guys. Yeah, man, good times. Like nobody really skates like those guys anymore. I don't think you'll really.
No. So from 99, did you have any time off at all, or have you just skated like right through?
I've skated right through, but to be fair, I did a lot of partying. There wasn't a lot of effort put into skating for a long time, man. For a long time. Bladelife made me really pick up skating with like effort again, like, you know, like putting effort into it. Like as I started Bladelifes, I was like, oh man, I don't want to be shit, you know. So like, started putting in more effort and being around the people that I got lucky enough to be around with Bladelife and stuff. Yeah, it's definitely a push. Makes you want to skate harder, man. So
absolutely. So when did Bladelife kind of form? When did that take off?
Bladelife, so like ever since I've been skating back in the day. So like I was skating, you know, obviously you know Matt, and I was skating with Matt like since I was like 15, and even then I was making like t-shirt designs with Matt. Like I think we did some t-shirt designs and it was called Level Clothing and shit like this, and it's always since I've been a kid like been there or thereabouts. Made some really random stuff, and then like Bladelife started coming about in like 2014.
Right.
So I started a business printing t-shirts the year before that, and then every January it's like always dead with my business even now. And then so Bladelife came about, just printing some t-shirts. Thanks to the love of Instagram and like just making a shit big cartel, man, and getting started. Honestly, it was so amateur, man. But yeah, it was good, man.
I wouldn't even say like it's amateur, mate. I think that's how most people start their little business to begin with. Big cartel, using like the likes of like Monster Press, all that type of stuff, you know, just to get something out there to begin with, so they get their name out to begin with. Do you know what I mean? I think the way you've done it has worked, and I wouldn't say anything.
No, absolutely. I mean, like I think some of the earlier designs and some of the stuff that you know has kind of come around again. The influence from the Oakland Raiders style design that spin on that you've got. I think that really appealed to a lot of skaters, myself included.
Reminds me with do you remember watching Boys in the Hood back in the day?
That's it. Everyone, like, even if you're not an American football fan, like, everyone loves that Raiders logo. Like, it's absolutely boss. So it was well picked up, man. And absolutely, like, love it. And now obviously you've expanded on it. Obviously you sell stuff to skate shops as well. So like Heading
Skate, and This Is Soul stock some stuff as well in Amsterdam. But yeah, big connections with Heading Skate, man. Like, really lucky there. Super lucky. Like, Bobby hooked that up, kind of thing. Like, Bobby's another guy who's super lucky to hook up, you know. Like, that's one of been the luckiest things about Bladelife, though. Like Lou just said, like, started and just started the same and just get it out there, like, always the best thing. And then as it progressed a bit, I met Francis.
Francis
chatting into online loads, and he was like, he's such a safe dude, man. We got along so well. And then I met him in Barcelona. I was like in Spain with an ex or some shit, and Francis was there at the same time, and I drove like 3 hours, man, with my ex-girlfriend and her dad. Her dad, like, was sound as fuck, and he rented us all the car for like 5 days, and just so on this one day we could like drive to Barcelona. And we drove like 3 hours or 2 hours there, and then I just spent the day with Francis skating and shit. And then like they were waiting around for like 5 hours, man. Like at the end, it's like shit, man, you know.
That's it.
I suppose that's one thing to look back of our ex-girlfriend is that, her dad was quite sound.
Come on, Trump.
For real, I probably wouldn't have gone and met Francis and everything and not have happened the same way if it wasn't for ex-girlfriend's dad, Terry. So yeah, big up Terry, man.
Big shout out, Terry.
They definitely approved of us having a few beers, man, and chatting shit.
You've made it, to be honest with you, from what I see, social media wise, and when you go to events and you're out and about skating with people just in general, you've made a big impact, mate. Like, a really big impact.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd say probably 80 to 100% of rollerbladers
own something Bladelife.
All wearing Bladelife.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, like, you know, really, I've noticed it past sort of 2-3 years since certain designs came out, and then the 5-year stuff that you did last year and stuff. Yeah, everyone's rocking Bladelife now, so props to you, man. Because like,
but it's not just UK. It's
you see in America and like see Bizzo was bigging it up on This Week in Blade, and obviously it's making an impact massively. And I think as well that helps with, you know, the people you've put around you as well, like the kind of team you've built off the back of, you know, your earlier days. Yeah. So like, how did that all get started? Like, when did you start to think, right, actually, you know, I can hook some riders up here, chuck some gear, and really sort of spin off that?
It was all pure fluke, to be honest, G. Pure fluke.
Don't sell yourself short, man.
Honestly, so like, just saying about like, started meeting Francis. I met him once in Barcelona, and then we went. I think like. He came over here a couple of times to the UK and stuff and stayed with me here. But then we went to Barcelona, like maybe the year after, when I've known him about a year. I hooked up with him and Adrian and one of his mates, Zoltan, as well. And we stayed together for like 2 weeks in Barcelona. And just getting to know Francis, and then through Francis already knew Mitchell Prado. And I met him then, and like we like obviously knowing I was going to meet him, and like took him a t-shirt and stuff. And the first straight of all, he was like, "Oh, Bladelife," like the name and shit, hyped about it. That was how he ended up on, and then I got to know Bobby as well through Francis. And fucking how I got to know Bobby is Francis. I'd like spoken to him a little bit, like Francis was staying in Israel with him, but then like Francis was coming over to the UK. And about 3 days before he was coming, he just rings me up and he's like, "Oh, Bobby's coming as well." And like, this was before Bobby was like it was just getting famous a little bit, but it wasn't the big guy kind of thing yet that he's got now. And he just turned up. He ended up on my couch for a month, man. So
proper blader, that innit? Like, that's rollerblading through and through. Like, just end up on someone's couch for a month.
Yeah. He stayed here for a month, man. Like, the funniest thing, Francis, I don't know if you remember, it was we went to a Forge from Steel jam. It was that one Bobby won.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was when I got to know Bobby, and he did. In that competition, Francis hurt himself. He cracked his ribs and shit. So, like, Francis ended up going, like, he was meant to stay the whole month. He ended up staying going after 10 days. So the rest of the time was just, like, me and Bobby, man, just, like, getting to know each other. We went to Copenhagen together, went to the Blade Days there, man. It's a sick competition. And, just, like, things. So, yeah, I think when you spend that long with someone, they end up on the team, and then just everybody else kind of flowed, man. Like, I don't know, like Michael Witzman, he was always on Bladelife, knew a couple of people. He came over again with Francis.
He's just put out an absolute fire edit as well.
He's one of the best natural skaters, man. Like, naturally, just annoyingly easy.
Yeah, I fucking hate that.
Yeah, proper effortless. He's only a kid as well, isn't he? Like, he's still quite young. Like, he just absolutely smashes it.
I think he's only 22.
22. Yeah, like 22, 23.
At most 23, and he's smashing it, and he can do every trick. Give him a play rail, he does every trick. He's
like Nathan Robinson. Nathan Robinson isn't like, I fell 500 million times trying to learn.
Nah,
it's just like
just gets and does it. Yeah.
Fuck off.
Selfish. Proper selfish.
Yeah, I'm sick of this shit, mate. Like, do you know how many times I'd fall over?
Well, that's actually my rules for getting on the team. When you make me go, fuck off, man. Like, that's the thing. That's the thing.
That's it.
That's when you're on. That's when you're on.
Oh, fucking hell, no wonder Bella got hooked up. Yeah, bastard. So going back to, obviously, Bobby spending time at yours, you've been over to Israel as well, haven't you? Did you go on session with him there?
Yeah, I went over to Israel last January, I think, man. Yeah, stayed with him, and then all the Israel homies. So there's all CCV. If you've seen it, like, check the VOD out. It just came out on YouTube if you search it up. But yeah, man, the whole crew. So there's Omri, there's Max, there's Daniel, obviously there's Bobby, there's Anton, there's Nadav, man, there's Norm. All these guys, and the super sound Gs. The Israel scene is like super friendly, man.
Yeah, I remember listening to his Jump Street podcast that he did at Winter Clash, and I didn't realise like how strong the scene was there. I didn't actually realise how small it was as a place either. Yeah. Like, when he was trying to explain it and say, like, you know, the actual country is like ridiculously small, so it seems like it's doing pretty strong over there, which is always good. You like, especially growing up skating like early 2000s, I wouldn't have thought of Israel as like a hotbed of blading, but it just seems like absolute rippers over there.
It seems that there's a lot of bladers around the world. They just don't have the platform to put it out on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've seen some, what's his name? It's like Amazing something on my grind. I've shared them.
All right.
Quite a lot.
No, I'm not seeing it.
I think it's in Africa.
Oh, like jumping cars and shit, and yeah. I've seen that sort of stuff. That's fucking mental.
Yeah, but like
high jumping on skates and stuff.
Not really had the funds or the platforms to be able to put that out there, but they're all out there. It's just, you know, a bit more of a less well off country.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That makes sense.
It's a bit more difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, talking about the hookup there with the ex-CCV that you did, the collab you did. You got another collab coming out, and you're sort of in the works. I've just seen on Instagram, Blading Camp. You're doing some stuff for them. How did that come about?
So again, like another kind of random thing. So like we were in Barcelona like 2 years ago now. Was it with you? Was I with you? when we met Josh. And we met Josh on one of the last days.
It was after I'd gone. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, we met Josh, I think, through Lewis. Lewis told him there was a lot of UK guys skating and to come and meet us, kind of thing. And he came and met us, and then me and Josh, man, we got along straight away. He's a super sick guy. And then we went back to Barcelona maybe a couple of months after that. We went in December and did a Bladelife tour then as well.
And
did a video. And yeah, man, just got super cool with him. Like, I talked to him a lot. We actually WhatsApp him a lot. Yeah, man, super sound guy, and just had to work together, you know, doing a little thing together. It's one of my favourite things, because I'm just a Blade fan, man. I'm just a geek, just somebody.
Just loving the blading.
I just made some t-shirts, man, and then I get to suddenly do all this shit just because I've printed a few t-shirts, and so it's a fucking honour for me, man, to work with this guy who's done loads in the scene, does the blading camp, and you know, everybody knows him a lot, and then he's super down to work with Bladelife and super excited, and it's just I have to pinch myself sometimes, man. Just like you both said, just seeing so many people in America wear it as well, and it just pops up, or somebody will pop up liking it, and I'll end up sending them a shirt, and you know, nothing will come of it. And then I sent Jeff Howard a couple of things, and nothing came of it. You know, it was all cool. And then a couple of years later, he's wearing the shirt and doing his ender in Chance of Rain. Alley-oop fish, alley-oop macchio and over the wall. Yeah, man, it's super sick, and he's doing it in a Bladelife shirt, and he's just yeah, man, it's fucking super lucky.
So obviously, from the beginning, did you use companies, or have you just instantly, from the beginning, bought a screen press and just done it all yourself, or?
Yeah, I've always done it myself. So I actually started screen printing back in 2009, man. I started doing it for myself then, and then in 2013 I started my own screen printing business. So I already had the equipment, I already knew how to do it a bit, and obviously in the business you see so many people coming in, and you start t-shirt companies for people, doing their printing for them and stuff. So just that, it just seemed like the obvious thing to do, man. Start using my own ideas instead of giving them to other people. And yeah, I've been making it myself since day one. I do all the design and myself, and all the printing myself, all the embroidery myself. Everything's me pretty much, apart from the video editing and the videos and stuff. Francis does all that, but apart from that, yeah.
We'll have to send us some JPEGs.
Hit it up.
The best is when I just get a biro drawing on paper. But you can draw, man, as we've seen we were talking about earlier. You can draw.
Yeah. Well, we were actually discussing this earlier.
There's ideas. There's ideas in the pipeline, so we'll see what comes of it.
Yeah, we've obviously we're obviously looking a little bit better in the background now. If you're watching visually, I'd say it looks a lot better.
Yeah.
But we're thinking about taking it to the next bit of level, would you say?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not obviously not media wise, but for clothing wise. So obviously I live in a fucking hat most of the time, otherwise, unless I'm in work.
You have to when you look like this. Jesus.
I get hooked up with the sick fade, so I'm okay.
It's COVID fashion, isn't it?
The COVID cuts are not looking fresh.
Yeah.
I'm not getting mine out again, yo. You know.
Yeah, that's strong.
I don't want to get mine out because I don't want to embarrass you both.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So we're thinking for myself a little hat, and Brad just a hoodie or a t-shirt. Yeah. Probably a t-shirt because he's always fucking hot.
Yeah, man. Always baking, man.
Yeah. So
just hot stuff. That's why, man.
So going back to the VOD, I kind of assumed that you were doing the editing. So Francis just happy to take that on. He just does it as a sideline, bit of a helping hand type job.
Yeah, well, I pay him a little bit. I give him a little bit of funds for it. I try to always put some money out when I can. The tours that we do when we go to Heed and Skate, for instance, I pay for everybody's plane ticket as much as possible.
Yeah.
And then the same when we went to the Barcelona video, and then did a skate. And then when you see people coming to visit in the UK and stuff like that, I'll normally pay for the plane ticket over and stuff like that. So I try to give back, you know, like definitely, it's not something I push or promote too much that I do, but it's definitely something that's behind, you know, wanting to be a proper company, you know. And like when you say I'm doing a tour, I want to be like doing a tour, not just like
just meeting up the homies
on holiday and then stick my company, you know. Like I want to be able to say like I've done it, you know. And
that's a really nice way of looking at it, mate.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like you were saying before, you know, like you say yourself, you know, you're a bit of a skate geek, like a bit of a, you know, like that side of things. And it's kind of like your way of giving back to a community, I suppose that's probably give a lot to you. You know, you've done it for so long. It's definitely sort of part of who you are and what you're about, and obviously your business side of it. So yeah, it makes complete sense. But yeah, props to you for that as well, because that, you know, them flights don't come cheap sometimes, you know.
No, but
I was lucky enough. Brad paid for my winter clash fucking flight. Like, otherwise, I wouldn't have been going. Like, he just turned around to me and was like, "Merry Christmas, buy your fucking ticket."
It's one of them, though, isn't it? Like, you know,
What?
It's like you say, though, you know, you want to give back to the community like, as much as you can and help people out where you can, you know, where you think people will enjoy it and stuff. And them tours, man, they look really sick. Like, some of the videos that have come out of it, the edits that I've dropped.
Before we get into that, though, one question I do have.
Go for it.
Obviously, we touched on Hidden Skate and the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with the UK shops?
So I've approached Loco Skate right at the start of
okay.
And like obviously I just started, so obviously they weren't interested, you know. Like it was like a throw out email just to see. But I think in the UK, mostly because I hit the UK anyway. Like everybody in the UK knows about me, so they might as well buy straight from me, kind of thing. If the UK shops buy something, have to buy from me, and then somebody buys from the UK shop,
there'll be a markup.
Yeah, they've got. Well, they'd sell it for the same, but all the money's not going to me, which then I can use more for other stuff. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it makes sense.
And, to be honest, with the two shops that came through, it's complete. I know I keep saying it, but it's complete kind of random and luck and just meeting people and people just being interested, and then like getting more of a relationship with Hidden Skate through Bobby and for doing the tours with and going to meeting Mirek and Basher out there, man.
You're not the only person that cuts out the middleman, mate. And you know you've got to look after yourself and think about your own fucking future. And obviously, when you're handing out percentages of that cut, it's going to be fucking more graft. It's going to be harder work. It's like Loco Skates at the moment. You know, they've brought out that wheel. They've put a lot of fucking thought into it, and they've put a lot of like effort into coming out with this revolver wheel. But
they've cut that.
They've cut that section out where it's not going to cost them, which is good. You know,
and it means
just good business sense.
Exactly, and it means you can do more, man. And I'm fully behind like. A lot of people do stuff in rollerblading completely for free, and I fully get that. It's mint. Like everybody, like keep doing shit for blading, man. It's sick. But also, like if there is possibility to make money out of what you're doing for blading, and the people like, man, you should fucking do it, because the more people that are making money out of blading, then the more money there is got to be in blading, and the more interest there is in blading, and the more professional. Like if you're making money out of something or trying to make money out of something, the level you've got to push it another level, man. You know, you've got to push it up. And like when you do that, then it brings more interest in blading. So when people are looking from the outside in, man, they see some professional content. Like even with yourself, guys, you're only 13 episodes deep. You know, you saw in the background out, you got proper microphones. You know, you're doing it right so that when people look into blading from the outside, man, they see some good shit. You know, and they see people producing some hefty shit, and that's
to be honest as well. That's something we've not really spoke about on this podcast before. But you touch on a great point there. Like so many people, it seems like in rollerblading, are so content with just making ends meet, aren't really willing to, you know, maybe go that extra mile or think outside the box, you know, in terms of, like, I know Bobby said it on his podcast with the Jump Street lot. It was like trying to take influences from elsewhere to try and really push something to, like, you know, if you're going to do blading, fucking, you know, try and push it as hard as you can, you know, like, don't just half-ass it. Don't just try and just make ends meet, scrape the barrel, you know, one month to the next, chucking out freebies, doing it off your own back, like you say. And you're probably one of the only people I've ever spoke to who've actually said, like, nah, make money from rollerblading. Like, if you can, absolutely do it. Like, so yeah, fair play. Like, it's great to hear that from someone, because you hear the other side of it so often. Like, oh no, just, you know, we'll do this for the guys, but it's just for the guys. You know, you don't think outside of that box.
Yeah, I think it's something that makes you push it more when you start to want to make money out of something. You start to think, oh, like, what can I do to improve? Or if you've invested a certain amount of money because you've paid for, like, a load of T-shirts, or you're doing a tour or some shit and you've got some money in it, you start thinking, right, well, how am I going to get this money back, you know?
Yeah.
And then it becomes important. It's important for yourself, but it's important, you know, and then you produce a sick product. And then if it works, you know, you're not just doing it for free. Like, so many people produce such sick things in rollerblading and then give it out for free. And it's like, cool as fuck, don't get me wrong. Like,
weird one, mate. So myself and Ross Martin, I don't know if you know Ross Martin from London.
Does the drawings?
Yeah, he's done some of the
the illustrations,
the T-shirt, Blade Junkie. That's it.
Yeah. So we come up with a company called the Skeletons, which we actually never pursued for
just personal reasons.
Personal reasons. But we put it out there that much that it would have done that well. But I think at the time we weren't interested in actually making money from it. So what we were interested in, which sounds really, I don't know if it sounds pathetic or gay, if you want to call it, in what way. Well, you're not meant to use that word anyway.
No, PC and all that.
Yeah, PC, sorry. But pretty much, like, it was something to have a name on us.
Yeah, and I can understand, like you know, the old sort of late 90s, early 2000s, like, everyone had, like, crews, and it was like their own little crew, and everyone had their own little tagline and that sort of thing.
Do you know what? I think
it's similar idea to that.
I think the page is still on Facebook.
But yeah, I get like where you're coming from. You know, a lot of people do want to just put something out there for their own, and I get that. But at the same time, if you can take it to that next level, like Greg says, then go in.
There you go, Greg.
Oh, I see.
If you search on Facebook, the Skeletons.
Yeah.
Check out the Skeletons.
Hook me up straight after. We'll get a like.
Yeah, that Blade Junkie stuff's good as well. I like that sort of stuff.
One thing though, I'm not like knocking doing things for like just for doing it, because that's what I did at first, man. It was just like a thing, and then for the good couple of years, man, like it was. I did stuff for the fun and for the pleasure of it, and it was pure for the love. And then, like you said, Brad, earlier, like around 2018, just getting a few more popular things and just feeling that people dug it a little bit, you know. And it was like, right, you know what, man, like, yeah, fuck it, let's try, do this shit, let's start. And it's got more serious, and then the past like year or so, I've been pushing it more, but like, never stop doing things for the love, like, and I wouldn't stop doing it now, man. I absolutely love it. It's a pleasure to do, man. It's so fucking lucky. It's so lucky that I can make a little bit of money out of it as well, man. It's so good. But like,
I think for us that wasn't. I understand now. Obviously, you're getting older, and you know whatever you're putting your work into, you need to have something profitable from it. But I put it out on Facebook. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I put it on UKBC, like. the Skeletons is actually going to come back.
Yeah.
We're going to do it. And it took off really well. But then I think at the time, my main concern was competition.
Yeah.
So
I think it's consistency as well. Like getting that first bit out, like you say, like Greg was saying, get that first bit out, you know, regardless of how kind of budget or ratty it might feel at the time. Once you've got that stepping stone, like these first couple of podcasts I did, you know, solo on my own, webcam on the laptop, sat in the garden, you know, just get started.
Yeah, for real.
Anyone who has an idea, the thing is, rollerblading as a collective group are so creative. You know, everyone's got their own spin on different things, and everyone can do so many different things. Like so many talented people in rollerblading. I think if you take that first step of right, just bite the bullet, get it done, get it out there, see what. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get love from the community because everyone just wants to see new shit.
Yeah, man.
So just bite the bullet, get that out, and then from that you can just build and grow, and everything stems from it. And you never take a backward step, really. You know, unless you print 2,000 tees and you sell 10, you know, like and do stupid business decisions and just some baby steps, and then
100%. That's the best way. Like it's the best way for anything. Just start, man. Just start, because then it's never got to be fucking perfect the first time, man. It never ever is going to be. So even if you start, just do it. Almost do it as shit as possible, because then you can improve it easier.
Yeah,
like,
that's it. Yeah.
Well, that comes into a good subject where we should be like, let's do a Casual Blading Bevvie and Bladelife collab just for our podcast. So then you're always fucking advertised. That would work.
We might get there. So, going completely off topic now, spinning right back to homies coming over to the UK. Khalil's here at the moment, isn't he? I think obviously you hook up quite a bit with him. Where did that come from? Where did you meet, and where did that all sort of stem from?
So that was from being in Barcelona at the time. When we'd been, and I'd been around at the same time as you, and then I think it was 2018. So yeah, 2018 in December, I went again with just all the Bladelife boys, and Kaleo was there with. He was staying with a dude called Harry Khan. If you've seen him on Instagram, big up Harry as well. He's a sick dude.
Check him out.
Yeah, man. They were together, and yeah, man, we just like hooked up. There was this one day where suddenly everybody was together. There was like me, Francis, Bobby, and then we'd met Carlos Bernal, and like Mary was about, and Josh was about, and then Kaleo and Harry turned up as well, man. And Kaleo, obviously I've known Kaleo from back in the day, man. Like I know who he was from in Brazil, and seeing this crazy tall dude, you know, always super styled out. And then he turned up and he's got like a silk bomber jacket on and like a scarf around his neck, like tied. And then he starts busting out 540s over cars, man. You've never seen such a well-dressed 540 in your life. But yeah, man. And I just got on with him, man. Me and him, like obviously I've seen his brand already, and just linked, man. Like he's a good soul, man. He's such a G. And yeah, he came over. He was travelling around Europe, and then he came over like last year. He spent like 3 months living with me and my girlfriend. Yeah.
Do you say girlfriends? Did you say girlfriends or girlfriend?
Me and my girlfriend.
Just didn't know if business had gone that far.
Just slips that one into conversation. But yeah, man. Yeah, so he came, and yeah, he's just his family now, man. Like he's a G, he's an absolute G, man. I've just stayed with me this last week. I've just dropped him off in Manchester. He's got to be living in Salford for a few months doing some work.
Oh wow!
Yeah, man. So you'll have to talk to you guys. So
I was going to say, is he? So is he working over? Is he on a work visa, working doing bits?
He's actually got an EU passport. He's got Italian citizen, so he's cool until Brexit happens.
You know what he's going to do, and he's going to. I was going to say he's going to skate with the Manny Boys, and he's going to go off. It's ridiculous.
He is ridiculous. Is Kaleo? You have never seen somebody do so many fucking stunts in your life.
Yeah, it's in that shared. someone had shared, it was either him and it had been reposted, it was the that 450 back royale you showed me before. It was just like ridiculous. And that was like time ago as well.
Yeah, he's an absolute G, man. It's so good. It's so
good. Weirdly, it seems that everyone that you come close with or you call family, like, you're very, very similar in ways. So you all have that very open heart, very happy, love type of attitude, and that's what I get from him, and definitely from yourself. He's like very like that. Like,
I think there's a lot of guys like in the rollerblading scene who, you know, that kind of comes naturally. It's
in a way, like a hippie-ish.
Yeah, I suppose to an extent. Yeah, like,
obviously they look after themselves, they grow themselves, but in that like one love.
Yeah, like just everything's for the love of rollerblading, and I think that, you know, that goes wherever you go. And like you say, you've done a lot of travelling about, a lot of tours, and then obviously travelling yourself. And it's just I think there is a lot of that in rollerblading. I think that's one of the beautiful things about the sport.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely. There are some arrogant dickheads.
Well, you get that in any walk of life, won't you? You know what I mean?
Our dickheads are the best dickheads. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because the rollerbladers are the best.
Yeah, that's true. But that's completely true. Wherever you go, man, if you're rollerblading, and especially if you're rollerblading and you're putting effort in and you're putting heart in, man, and you put yourself on the line a bit, whether you're just learning to soul or you're doing the biggest trick. One thing I've learned is like, it just appreciate. You see that like people trying, you know, like really fucking trying.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah. I used to really hate it when somebody on UKBC had put something up and they're like trying to do a soul and they're well happy with it.
Yeah.
And then somebody would come along and sleep.
Yeah, that's the worst, man. That's the worst. There's no time for that at all whatsoever.
Like, don't be a dickhead.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, he's fucking giving the sport that you call, like, say you love a fucking good go.
Yeah, fair play. So, I mean, going from the past, touched on what's going on at the moment. What's the future for Bladelife? What's going down? What have you got plans?
Oh, so much, man, so much. So there's the Blading Camp collab. That's coming. That's the newest thing soon. We're going to be doing another tour soon. Hopefully, we're going to be going to Malaga to do a tour with Heathen Skate. Obviously,
Malaga.
Yeah.
Tour.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we're actually so fucking boring, man, when we go on tour. I promise you, it's boring.
If there was a Lego set on the side or a night out, would be the fucking Lego set. Absolutely.
100%. Honestly, we are so boring. So the last time we went to Barcelona, Kaleo doesn't drink or smoke or anything. He's completely straight edge, and he was the dude going out partying the most, man. We were all staying inside. We're tired, man.
Yeah, them Brazilians are crazy, man.
Like, by the time all the clips are getting sorted, like poor Francis like does the clips until like 2:00 in the morning every night and all that shit. Like, everybody's zonked, man. We're so boring. Fuck knows how people do these tours and like get drunk and then go out and bust tricks, man. Because
but to be fair, the ones that are doing that ain't editing till 2 a.m. Put it that way.
Majority of the ones that were doing that aren't skating as hard as they used to.
No, true that.
They're fucked, mate. LCLs? Yeah, ACLs.
ACLs, yeah. Knees blown out left, right and centre.
Yeah, wrists can't handle even fucking holding themselves up anymore. Like, there's the reason why, Greg. There's the reason why.
Malaga sounds sick. I seen this week the Prague Masters of Real Street it's been rearranged, so it was due to happen this weekend. It was due to happen yesterday, and that's now happening at the end of September. Any plans for that, or are you?
Maybe, man. Nothing set. I think Malaga might be in September, so if that goes around, that might be for him. But yeah, man, like, it's something I need to do is a few more contests sometimes. Like, they're always good vibes. Good vibes, man. I always get a bit weird around loads of people though, so that's why I don't hit as many of those things up. But yeah, man, Mike, it looked good, man. It looked good last time. So
yeah. Well, I was speaking to like Vela and stuff like that about it this week, and they were saying that they're hopefully heading out for it. So for anyone listening, that's definitely a competition. Looks like it's worth hitting up because, like I say, the past couple of years, it looks like it's just gone off.
Is that the one with the naughty kill?
The massive kink, like nipple high.
To be fair, Vela and Cheese went there.
Yeah, they smashed it. I think Vela won.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Vela. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Good on him. Good on him.
But yeah, so, I mean, obviously, blading camp, Malaga trip.
We've got more collabs going. There's one I'm super excited about. There's not much I can say now because I just want to make sure it actually happens rather than thinking. But it's collab with some dudes over in America, and hopefully it'll be making something that's popular in the blading scene, but not actually to do with blading. So there's a clue for you, but hopefully dropping a little collab with them. There's a couple of other collabs that have been spoken about. Like getting some stuff ready for Christmas. Yeah, man. Always loads of ideas going down. But the main thing is, I just want to go get some tours done, man.
I have an idea for you. One guy I think who would be fucking unbelievable to have on your team would be. Don't laugh. I'm talking about myself.
Good,
you bastard.
Good.
Broomski, Andrew Broomski.
Oh man,
he's a killer.
Unbelievable, unbelievable.
Like all these, it's absolute killer. This is one thing, like, just seeing people. There's so much talent out in the rollerblading scene, man. Like, how the fuck do you choose anyway? You know?
Yeah, I mean,
he is next level.
To be fair, this is one thing. I don't know if it's because over the past sort of year and a half, 2 years, I've kind of paid more attention to social media while skating. But yeah, like you say, there's so many people now. Like,
yeah, there is.
It doesn't feel like there's loads of people coming back and that are just dead good. It just feels like they were always there. I'm just paying more attention to it now.
Yeah,
and there is just legit killers everywhere.
I honestly can't say for the past. If I was to go over social media over the last year, Andrew Broomski literally is fucking next level.
Yeah,
like
I can't deny it. He's a beast. Like,
unbelievable. Like, I physically every time like I see a clip from him, he's only skating a fucking P rail, but he's doing like top sole fucking 540 true pawns, and you're like, but with like a fucking 540 out, and you're like. Rewind.
Yeah, it's mad.
Fuck off, you dickhead. Like
selfish again.
Yeah.
Pure selfish.
But unbelievable. Yeah. Like, I think he'd be at the moment, mate, with like how much publicity he's getting through stuff.
Yeah, fair play.
Well, that's one thing. Like with blading and getting people on a team and stuff, you've always got to think about. Like you said, there's so many quality skaters out there. Now, but as you get, like, one thing I always wanted to do as I grew the team is have people, firstly, that I kind of met naturally, but secondly, like, people that kind of fit and, like, look good on the team and look good, like, almost like dressing the same way, even as stupid it is, like, dressing the similar way. You don't, like, so everything looks together, you know, looks cool together, and everything, like, goes together. And I've just been blessed by fucking meeting a load of people, but man. Yeah, it's like that's one of those things that I think you touched on it earlier, just like how many people are out there now skating and how many people are showing up often. You see, and you can't just be a skater anymore, man. You got to be like a skater and then an Instagrammer and then a video editor, like, you know. Yeah. And,
fashion guru.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, like you say, I think to be honest, mate, like one of the biggest things you pick up with on the Bladelife, well, team, if you will, it's like you get that vibe that they're all coming from the same sort of place. They're all genuine nice guys, and like you say, it definitely comes from you meeting them and, you know, having that first-hand experience. And that's cool, man, because, like, it's easy to pick up someone, and, well, they might not want to skate it, but if you turn around and say, oh, here's a load of free shit, you know, would you be happy to take it? Most people will say yeah, because let's face it, who's turning down free shit? Yeah. But at the end of the day, they might be an arsehole if you've never met them. So I think you've definitely done it right, mate, the way you've built what you've built. And it's, well, it feels like it's definitely getting the recognition it deserves with people worldwide. So credit to you, man. And yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, because it's good, man. The blade scene loves it.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's just super luck, man. Like, I just keep making t-shirts and keep working on it. Like, and just keep making shit. I only make shit, like, I think of a t-shirt that I want to wear and then make it, and then, like, fingers crossed that people want to buy it, you know, and touch wood, they have done so far. So yeah, if people keep buying shit, we can keep making it and keep making videos.
Keep supporting the industry, keep supporting them home brands. So
yeah, man, like that's one thing that's big in the blading now, is like how much support, like through like groups like UKBC and shit like that, man. Like, so much support in the scene. Everybody's so supportive. Everybody's like bigging each other up. Everybody's linking, man. You see, like I seen say at the skate park at Mags on ramps, man, one of the kids behind the desk, he says, oh, it's really cool with rollerblading because we only have to tell one of you that we're doing an event or something, and all of you know, and all of you turn up. But it's like skateboarders or the BMXers, he's like, we have to tell fucking everybody because none of them talk.
I think I might have spoken to that kid when I was there. When I think you were there, and I was.
Oh, we went for a Wednesday night.
Yeah, and I was skating from the floor, that angle line box.
Yeah. It's ruthless, that.
That guy from there, I went out as I was leaving, and obviously, as you do, you know, people who run in a skate park, or even if they just work there, you give them the time of day, you know, you make yourself known, you're respectful to them, you have to like have a conversation. And the guy behind there pulls out a pair of, I think they were TRS Tresners, and I was like, why have you got them? And he's just like, these are mine. Like, I have a blast on them every now and then. Like, on the, I'm like, that's
you get, cool. Yeah, you get a few people like that. Like, everyone loves skating, really. It's just everyone's in denial about it. Yeah. Right. Before we go,
we do have a couple of questions from people off social media.
So only a couple of questions, just quickly off the Instagram post this morning. So first one's from Matt Keaton. Shout out, Matt Keaton.
Big up. One thing I haven't mentioned Matt enough. Like, Bladelife wouldn't be the same without Matt, man. He supports me so much, man. He's a badass.
Shout out to Matt Keaton.
He's a badass rollerblader as well, who can true spin Royale handrails. Like, you heard it here.
Yeah, the old clip we put out the other day, like a couple of weeks ago, it was ridiculous when he was killing that rail.
Oh, mate, honestly, like, he's a G. I've seen him do gaps, like 10-foot gaps back in the day in King 55s he'd skated the King 55 so much his toe was almost poking through the front of the King 55, man. Like,
proper ghetto skate.
You know what, mate? I don't really like skating street, but every time we go skating the street, I get, like, with Brad, it's either like, do it, stop being a pussy, come on, do it, and then I have to fucking do it.
It's good that I don't have to do it. It's better telling someone to do it. So he actually put so many questions, but definitely not suitable for the podcast. But he did say one question, where are we skating on Wednesday?
I think Bradford was the talk. Bradford.
So shout out anyone listening who fancies a skate. Get yourself to Bradford on Wednesday. Skate some street. And another question was from Craig Spavin. I don't know how to say it. Spavin. And he said, "Do you reckon you can get Francie to film?"
Getting Francie out, man. Maybe. I don't know. I speak he's in one of the groups like I'm in. I see him pop up now and then, man. He's killing. He only has to come out for one session, man. He's amazing.
Shreds.
Yeah, man. There was a clip that popped up of him last year. He came out for one session. I think he went to the house. Yeah, he went to the house, and you know the grind box. He's doing like alley-oop sole to alley-oop top sole to full cab alley-oop top sole. and then goes home for another year, you know, like
yeah. It's like them clips that dropped of Fraser Watson the other day. He put his skateboard down for a bit, put on some Aeons, and just absolutely smashed up a park for a little bit, and then just took off on his skateboard. He was done.
I know a few rollerbladers like that, man. Who took off for like a year or so, come back.
Do you know what you call them rollerbladers?
Knobheads.
Selfish.
Yeah. One more question. So, Lewis Devereux.
Yeah.
Where does the inspiration for your designs come from?
Just shit I see mainly, because I look at a lot of clothes, man. So there's a lot of vintage stuff that gives me inspiration. Obviously, with the Bladers stuff, that's quite obvious. You hit on it earlier with the like the old Boys in the Hood, like Bladers.
Yeah.
You know, this is all the exact shit that I look at when I'm thinking like what different Bladers stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, yeah, just different vintage stuff, different stuff like I want to do, say like the Life 80. I've seen that the purple and pink came from this one of my friends. He works upstairs from me. He's got a vintage warehouse. Search him. He's like working class hero vintage. He's got some sick arms. But yeah, he had like a hoodie, a purple hoodie with pink embroidered text on the back. And I was just like, that's the colorway, man. That's the badass. That's the one. And then it kind of just crossed into my mind, and I'd seen like just some old Nike designs and all this kind of old 90s vibe for that one. And it just kind of came together. So it's always this kind of seeing shit, just soaking things up, man, and just creating something that normally is stuff that I want to wear, you know? Like
it sounds like, honestly, it sounds like you have the right head for the right shit you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I just...
Yeah, like your brain is formatted to be doing this type of stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of people call it fashion. A lot of people call it... And do you know what, mate? If I was young again and I could go back into doing fashion and textiles, I probably fucking would.
Yeah, man.
Like,
yeah.
And even in school back then, you know, it was a thing where like...
Girls did textiles, boys did woodwork type shit. Yeah.
But like, you know, I know... Not right to say, but it used to be called a puff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
But I wish I'd done that type of stuff and gone down the fashion industry side of things.
Absolutely, man.
It is interesting.
It's interesting, and like you say, like Greg's head's right on the money when it comes to it, because you know, like the designs that have been coming out, flying off the shelf. Yeah. Bare sold out signs on the website, you know. Keep trying to tap that stuff up, and it's like, nah, sold out.
First in there to buy it.
To be fair, when I see Matt Keaton again, Matt Keaton's always on the countdown. He lets everyone knows when it's going to drop. So
he's my number one fanboy, man.
He's the best man, because if he knows, then everyone else knows. So it's fine.
Yeah, for real, man. Yeah, for real. But just touching on, just on what you said, man, like with the fashion, it's like I think it's also super important in rollerblading to have like something that's obviously we rollerblade, you know, whether it says Bladers on it or whether like the stuff that I just made that says I'd rather be blading. Like I always want it to be. So we're rollerbladers, man. Like, be proud of it, you know. We fucking put his bodies on the line just for a fucking laugh or a clip, you know. So like, be proud of it.
Yeah, I mean, there is that, yeah.
You know, like, yeah.
No, that's absolutely right as well. You know, like you got to wear it proud type thing. You know, like a lot. You know, it still gets a lot of flack. You know, there'll be loads of people who listen to this who will think like, fucking hell, my other circle of friends, because everyone's got another circle of friends who aren't bladers, and they'll think, fucking hell, I don't want them to know I'm a blader. But nah, fuck that. Like, wear it proud, because like that shit's fresh.
So all I'm going to say to you, Greg, is keep doing what you're doing, mate. You're killing it. Not with the clothing, with your attitude, with your
what you're doing for the homies and everything like that. That's it, man.
You're doing really well, mate, and it shows massively in the community your passion and your love towards not just the clothing, because that's not what your outcome or your thought in your head mentality wise is about. It's just about love, and that's what we need.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, man. No, that's so fucking nice to hear, man. Like, honestly, it made my day, boys. Made my day.
You made our day by coming on, so appreciate it. Thank you very much, Greg.
Cheers, Greg.
And you've got one thing though. You got to keep doing what you're doing, man. Because this.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We will. We've got another one straight after this, so
fuck off.
Keep wrapping them up. No, absolutely. Yeah, keep doing what we're doing. That's it, man. Anyway,
Peace.
Much love. Take care, man.
Peace.